So once again, this is definitely the type of content I'm gonna be doing on my other channel called No Chill for Real. I'm just dropping a few videos on this channel to drive some traffic to my other channel. So this is the opening for my other channel, No Chill for Real. So if you're not tuned in, go sign up, man. I'm gonna be doing everything unrelated to prison. We're gonna be clowning, we're gonna have some fun every now and then. We're gonna kick some real stuff. So once again, go tap in. No Chill for Real. Let's get to it.
Damn, Chill, you got another one?
What's poppin'? You already know the deal. You are now rockin' with No Chill for Real. We about to get ill. What did you expect for me to bow down, get soft, and talk politically correct? They consider me a threat, especially if they goofy, cause I clown guys, no lies, I just do it truthfully. It's on the house like Snoopy, it's free in other words. I'm a nightmare to these super squares and nerds. I barbecue 'em with words when I'm through commentating. One thing you'll never see me ever do is hating, lying, exaggerating, or fabricating for views. If you not built for the street like a pair of shoes, as square as a Rubik's Cube, stop it and leave the field, or wind up a topic on No Chill for Real. You square as a Rubik's Cube, stop it and leave the field, or wind up a topic on No Chill for Real. All gas, no brakes. Gotta keep the pressure on these cowards and these snakes. Honor over money, gotta do what it takes. Gotta keep the pressure on these cowards and these snakes.
Gotta stay going in.
All gas, no brakes. Gotta keep the pressure on these cowards and these snakes. Honor over money, gotta do what it takes. Gotta keep the pressure on these cowards and these snakes. Say what's poppin'? You are now rocking with No Chill for Real, and I'm not your doctor, and I don't care how you feel. This is my very first segment of a segment that I'm calling Don't Shoot the Messenger. And what an appropriate video to be starting with, man. So lately, for the last couple of days, man, Flakko has been talking about revealing the individual who he says is responsible for the murder of the rapper Drake'O right now. I don't know if I'm gonna bleep out what he says, or he said he's gonna reveal the dude's face, and I don't necessarily know if I'm gonna bleep that out or not, because if I don't bleep it out, it's still gonna be seen out there. His video is still gonna get out there. His video is gonna get way more views than my video, right? So you know, I'll have to decide about that during the editing process, man. But listen, like I said, man, the name of this segment is, hey, man, don't shoot the messenger, man. I'm just bringing you what's being put out there, man. So anyway, hey, man, hey, look, you know what I'm saying? Let's act like some good vagina and get into it, man.
The murder of rapper Drake'O the Ruler has been unsolved until today, because in this video, I'm revealing the name of the person who killed Drake'O the Ruler. I'm revealing the face of the person who killed Drake'O the Ruler.
Oh, hold on, man. Detective Flakko is on his bullshit. Hey, man, all of us, I just noticed, man. Okay, listen, man. Look, for the longest, Flakko has been thumbing his nose at LA gang members, man, playing with him like shit is sweet. And you know what I'm saying? He can, you know, he can do as he pleases. Now this dude has got on the red rag, the red handkerchief. Flakko think it's a game, man. I'm telling you, Flakko, man, you better get some act right, man. Sometimes, man, everything ain't sweet, Flakko. Flakko think this shit is a game, man. Let's get into it, though.
And I'm breaking down in grave details how they were able to kill Drake'O the Ruler at a packed-out festival.
Chaos at a packed concert featuring rap legends like Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube. A person was stabbed and police have shut down the show.
Well, a man is reported dead after being stabbed at a concert in Exposition Park last night. TMZ is reporting the victim was rapper Drake'O the Ruler. It happened around 8:30 last night during the Once Upon a Time in LA Music Festival being held at the Bank of California Stadium.
A couple of days ago, I made a post where I announced I'm about to expose and reveal who killed a really famous LA rapper. A lot of famous LA rappers have died. I never said the name of who I was about to expose. But when that post went up, almost immediately, hit dogs began hollering. One of the hit dogs who's been hollering the loudest, trying to get me not to drop this video, is Inglewood family blood Munchie B, who Drake'O the Ruler famously dissed in his Inglewood diss when he says, I just dropped 50 on a blind ninja, he ain't see it coming. He was talking about Munchie B. Munchie B thought that targeting me and my parents for something one of my relatives did would sway me from dropping this video. It didn't. Munchie would even make a threat that he wasn't done with me and he was gonna be at me every day if I dropped this video.
Frederick, your real name, you know what I'm saying? But whatever, Frederick, Jala, I'm gonna tell you why your name, that last name on Inglewood family. Any female need to run from the Jala last name. It ain't straight. On any resume, it ain't straight. I swear to God, bro. Flakko. I'm not done right here, bro. I'm on your bumper because you're a horn or you's a horny frog, bro.
On Bloods. Why this nigga so mad?
See, I knew it. Listen, the dude just said on Bloods. And this is what I be talking about, Flakko, right? In one video, Flakko would talk about he detests gang members, so on and so forth. But then he'd turn around, he'd talk about on Bloods, he'd talk about, fuck cuz and all this old type of shit. And the dude is definitely, man, playing with the culture, man. Somebody has, when they let Flakko sit on the table, man, they let him over a period of time get extremely comfortable. And he, for whatever reason, man, he thinks that, you know what I'm saying, this gang culture is soft, man, and he plays with it, and he plays with it, and he plays with it. I told you he was trolling. He's trolling here.
Come on, Blood. I don't understand. Blood, why this nigga so mad? Swoop. Because I'm confused, all right? If you have nothing to do with Draco the Ruler's death, if you or your homies and Inglewood families have nothing to do with Draco the Ruler's death, then why are you going so hard trying to get me not to drop this video? Once that didn't work, another Blood from Inglewood called Frosty the Snowman, who in my opinion was put up to this by Munchie B, called Adam 22 and began to threaten Adam 22 that if I drop this video exposing Draco the Ruler's killer, that they're gonna treat it as if no jumper dropped it. This is just age-old LA tactics.
This kind of content it's gonna get treated like no jumpers the ones dropping that content.
Definitely.
Which he's right. On one hand, I think Flakko's totally within his right to expose whatever the fuck he wants to say about an ongoing investigation, because I mean it's not any different than what happens in the real media world, where the New York Times, if they find out that there's an investigation going on into a alleged crime that Donald Trump committed, they are going to publish an article.
We've been dealing with LA bullies our entire life. The reason why they contacted Adam when them coming at my family and me didn't do anything is because they think, well, Flakko is associated with no jumper. So if Adam, can get scared, then maybe Adam will scare Flakko into not doing it. Or if Adam tells Flakko, hey, man, if you drop it, your job is at risk, bro. Just, again, LA bully tactics that didn't work, right? Because Adam isn't terrified, isn't scared. Nobody is scared of gangbangers anymore, Blood. That's a fact. All right, gangbangers don't scare nobody. So, of course, none of it works. But I'm confused as to why Munchie B is going this hard because I'm in gang members' business. When Munchie B has kept me in gang members' business for as long as I've known him. Somebody.
See, okay, now that he's basically, so what he's saying is, man, while he's up there, on the show, man, Munchie B and others, I'm assuming, are giving him information about, gang politics. And because, when I first got out of prison in 2018, right, and I seen this dude, and you can just tell sometimes his take on certain things, this dude is far from the gang culture, right? And so just the way he tries to process this information is inaccurate, right? But so that's what it is, man. They are making this dude feel like he's comfortable, right? And I got something to say, but I'm gonna say it in a few minutes.
Somebody go ask Munchie B how me, a civilian from North Dakota, knows who shot and killed Rosemo in Inglewood.
Okay, see, I knew it, man. The dude who say he from North Dakota, man. Hey, look, don't shoot the messenger, man. Ain't nothing in North Dakota but white people and bison. You know what I'm saying? White people and bison shit.
Go ask him. Just so the streets don't think I'm bluffing, I'm going to give the streets a hint of something right now that only the streets would know that I know. That's the hint. Now, I would never reveal this information, but if Munchie B have kept me in the streets business for a long time, why is he all of a sudden mad that I'm doing street content? Is it because he's intimately involved with Draco the Ruler's death? See, I asked Munchie B this on the No Jumper show.
Again, from my perspective, if Munchie is saying he has nothing to do with that, then why Munchie B so invested that he's willing to diss me and go out the way to cause this much trouble?
Hey, Flakko, hey. Look.
Munchie B answer that question though. If Munchie B has
he looking for a certain answer. I ain't gonna give it to him.
About this and going out of his way.
I feel like he's the only podcaster from Inglewood Family, so he feels like it's kind of on him.
So the families have something to do with that.
I don't know what you talk. What are we talking about, bro?
Okay, let's be real.
Ask my question again.
When it comes to Bloods, Munchie is obviously kind of it has always been at the forefront of the Draco versus the Bloods beef. So I feel like it's not really that surprising that Munchie ends up speaking on behalf of the other side of that, right?
I think like the
Munchie B has said he has nothing to do with that. The Bloods had nothing to do with that. Family had nothing to do with that. So again, if Munchie B and Inglewood families had nothing to do with that, then why is Munchie B so passionate about this and is causing this much trouble and dissing me over a potential video that don't even exist yet?
What was I trying to do, Munchie? Well, if Munchie B don't want to give the world an answer as to why he's so upset I'm doing this video, then I'll give the world the answer. The reason why Munchie B is so upset is because the person who killed Draco the Ruler, the person who took the knife and actually stabbed Draco the Ruler, well, that person is really close to Munchie B. But of course, I'm not saying anything new because Munchie B slipped up and said on Clubhouse that he passed the bottle to Draco the Ruler's killer almost every day.
No,
Man,
right?
Draco is dead, bro. What are we talking about? Don't make me disrespectful.
Hold on, homie.
Hey, bro, look. Hold on. Hey, you know Draco shit used to be on the table and ain't there no more, right? Hold on. You know Draco shit was on the table and ain't there no more, right? Hold on. You do know I did. I said Draco and his brother worked there on Friday. You know, on there every Tuesday, right? Shut your dumb ass up, bro. You sound, hey, bro. Draco is dead, bro. Hey, bro, the nigga that killed Draco, I passed the bottle back and forth to him all the time. What are we talking about? Bro, Draco is dead, bro.
Now listen, okay, so y'all already know, and if you don't know, I'll tell you now, right? I was locked up from 94 to 2018, right? And I say that to say this, that when I got out, it seemed like I seen just a big inspiration of the Chicago gang culture. You know what I'm saying? The diss records, the people talking about this, talking about that, just putting a whole lot of information out there. And I feel that a lot of other states, California as well, was influenced by that gang culture, right? Because to me, that's just saying too much. That's just saying too much. And I feel that that right there is a trickle down from the Chicago gang culture right now. I don't know whether Munchie B was saying it to troll him or whatever, but still in all, man, keeping it 100, because that's what we do here on the No Chill for Real, right? We keep it 100, man. That's too much. I pass the bottle to the dude every day. That's saying a whole lot, man, especially when, I believe Munchie is old enough to be at least influenced by a different perspective of gang member from Los Angeles, dudes who would not do the type of stuff you see doing today, dissing the dead and this and that, especially and just speaking on stuff that should not be spoke on. So to me, that's saying too much right there.
Draco is dead, bro. Why are you talking about that nigga?
Hey, bro, you heard what I just said, right?
Draco put 50 on a blind nigga and he's dead. Why are you talking about him?
Draco the Ruler ain't never dead. As long live the ruler forever. But I'm glad you said that because it's time to expose which one of Munchie B's friends who killed Draco the Ruler that he passes the bottle to every day. And I'm also glad, Munchie, that you contacted the Crips to apologize for saying too much because your homie is responsible for other people's deaths. I'm glad you called and apologized and confirmed that your homie is the killer of Draco the Ruler.
Hey, now that's crazy, right? I know a lot of you guys from my generation, man. I know a lot of y'all remember this saying, right? A lot of times we might be talking gang business or hood business or what's going on out there in the street. And here would come a square. Let's say the square was from North Dakota, some motherfucking where, right? And when this square would pull up, one of the homies might say, hey, man, talk baseball. Basically meaning for you squares out there, switch the nature of the conversation. Dudes have got too comfortable talking about street shit in front of this dude, man. This dude should not be privy to all this stuff to even be able to make videos like this, man. See, listen, and this is what I was going to say earlier, and I'll say it now, right? Dudes don't know how to read between the lines. I've seen when this dude right here, Flakko, when he released a video, maybe about a year, somewhere around there ago, it was saying basically it was insinuating, it was asking something about if Brick Baby was responsible for the shooting of the dude Little Pab or whoever he was with, the dude from who got caught up in the King Von situation, one of his homies. When y'all know what I'm talking about, when Flakko released that video right there, I said, oh, this nigga's all about the content, right? Because you sitting up on a show damn near every day or every few days with Brick Baby, y'all cool, right? And so for you to even insinuate that this dude could be caught up in a murder that could potentially get him sent to the feds or even get him sent to the grave was a cold thing, man. So any game type motherfucker would have known at that point, man, don't say shit to this motherfucker if you don't want it put out there, because content is on his mind. Y'all mad at him, y'all mad at the wrong motherfucker, man. I gotta keep it real on No Real for Chill. This dude ain't got no alliance to the gang culture. This dude ain't got no alliance to the street or to the code. So whoever talking around this dude is talking too much.
I'm glad you did that, Munchie. I'm glad you were dumb enough to confess that your homie is the one who killed Draco the Ruler. Now, unfortunately for you, I got his identity, his name, and let's expose that right now. When Draco the Ruler was initially invited to the festival that he lost his life at, he was skeptical. He was reluctant to go. Because when you look at the flyer for the festival, YG was also set to perform. And obviously Draco and the world was well aware that while YG was discussing Draco the Ruler on No Jumper, YG told Adam 22 that he's not doing no rap beef with Draco, right? Him and his dudes beef for real. And if it's beef, which it was with YG and Draco, him and his dudes is gonna come and get you. Draco understood that was a threat towards him, and that YG was publicly stating that they're gonna come and get Draco.
Like, people be knowing, like, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. I'm not finna be going out there doing no rap diss and shit. It's like, if it's smoke, it's really smoke with us. We ain't playing, you know? So, like, I'm gonna tell the homies the same shit, bro. I done told D3 that, like, we ain't doing none of that weird shit for nothing, for the rap. No, we not on none of that. We trying to make hits. We gonna move around, get rich, have fun. All that rap beef and all that shit, we not rap beefing, we really beefing. The homies gonna get you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we ain't even trying to do that. We chilling. We not on that.
And in my opinion, right, what he's saying right there is not incriminating. It's basically saying we not supposed to be doing that goofy shit. We not supposed to make records talking about this and hopping on that dude's helmet and blowing this dude down. Because in the event something happened to transpire, that'd be the first thing that the detectives, the feds, the police, they run to these records and they try to piece shit together, right? Even if it's not true, right? We all know, anybody that's dealt with the court system and been through this street shit, in and out of them courts and in the penitentiaries, you know, man, a lot of times the district attorney will piece shit together on a bullshit theory. The DA in half the time don't be knowing what be going on. Sometimes they just grab some shit up out of the air, right? But the jury, a lot of times, they'll feel that the DAs know what they talking about. They professional, they've studied, and this has to be what's going on, man. And it don't a lot of times. So what YG is saying is, man, I'm not supposed to give y'all no information to put some bullshit on me in a song, whether it's true or whether it's not. And he moving like he's supposed to be moving, man. Make this money, you know what I'm saying? Drop these hits. Enjoy this shit. I don't think rappers get into the game, or at least they didn't back in my era. They didn't get into the game to beef, man. They got into the game to get bread, to get paid. You know what I'm saying? So what he's talking about is a smart move.
So, you know what I'm saying? That's what I tell the homies. That's what I tell the homies that my who I be with, that I hang with. You know what I'm saying? Like D3 young, bro, that's not cool. Like, we ain't doing none of that.
Right. It's kind of like a shortcut to like getting you a couple million views.
As reluctant as he was, Draco still agreed to come to the festival and perform for several reasons. A, he was being paid $50,000 to come and perform. And then two, Snoop Dogg personally called Draco and asked him to come to the festival and perform. Draco had love for Snoop, so he couldn't turn that down. And Draco also got assurance from people he respected, like Wack 100, who told him that they will be there as well. So if he come early enough, they'll be able to link up with him and he will have some reinforcement. However, Draco the Ruler came super late and came after Whack 100 and his crew already left.
We was actually waiting on Draco to make sure he got in and out right, but shit, we waited on him an hour and something. You know, I had 100 tickets. I had 4 artists performing. I had Game, I had Blueface, Coyote, and True Car. So I told Nephew we was gonna wait up for him and make sure he got in and out of there right. But after holding Blue and holding Game and the team a whole hour, they was with it. And like, bro, we don't think he gonna show up, let's roll. I called his little brother and then was there early, about 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And you know, they was good. By the time we got to the Sprinter and got to the freeway, we got the call, he was dead.
Draco needed every one of those numbers to save his life because the plot to murder Draco was already in place by the time Draco got to the festival. Now, the reason why Draco was so late to the festival is because he had to make multiple stops before getting to the festival.
Let me pause this real quick, right? Let me just say this real quick and then get right back into it. I think somewhat Flakko was lightweight trolling, right? I know Flakko talk all this shit about LA gang members and so on and so forth, and I don't want him to. What I'm saying is I don't want him to reveal the name and the picture, right? I think he's just trolling because this dude has to have enough sense. He has to have more sense than that, right? So maybe this dude is just trolling, right? We'll see. But Flakko has to have more sense than that. You know, everybody's not for play. You can't just play this game with everybody, Flakko.
So Draco and his security guard met up at his home in the hills. Draco and his security guard left his house in the hills and drove over to the Awful Lot of Call Center parking lot to link up with Ralphie, K7, Chief and Heavily, and others to then drive over to the festival. Before they started driving over to the festival, Draco had a conversation with everybody he was with. He told everybody, get rid of whatever you guys have on you. Get rid of any guns, anything illegal you guys have on you, get rid of it right now. Draco didn't want to get to the festival and have problems with the police or security. So he told his crew, whatever you guys have on you, get rid of it right now. Everybody who was with Draco got rid of everything illegal they had on them before they began to drive over to the festival. While Draco was driving over to the festival, he was getting live updates from members of his entourage, like Donut, who was already at the festival. Draco had a hunch something was wrong, so he had people at the festival setting parameter and just like testing the temperature and looking at who was already there. Draco felt a little more at ease as they got closer to the festival because the people he had in place at the festival already was telling Draco, yo, we ran across YG and his homies and these bloods that we don't get along with, but they seen us, they know we are a part of your entourage and we're part of your crew, and they didn't do nothing or say nothing to us. So it looks like everything is chill. At the time, they seen that as a positive sign. But looking back in hindsight, that was a negative sign.
Because like I said, we was there checking in. We've been there all day. I personally was there all day. I ain't gonna say who I was with, but I checked, you know, part of the check-in team. So we there. They said, damn, we go with the homies. Now let's stay here, man. Make sure it's cool for them. Make sure it's, you know, feasible. Niggas got comfortable. You know, it's comfortable. We run into everybody who we think we're gonna bump heads with. Ain't nothing happens. A couple of us. Nothing happens.
In hindsight, that was a bad sign. They seen you guys. They didn't get along with you guys, but nobody said nothing. That's because y'all weren't the target. They weren't gonna set it off with the entourage and now everybody gets kicked out and then they miss Draco when Draco come in. No, Draco the Ruler was the target from the very beginning. Draco was walking into a literal death trap. Everybody was colluding against Draco the Ruler. When Draco, his security guard, Ralphie, K7, Chief and Heavily, when they got to the festival, they went to the security entrance for the artist. When they got to the security entrance for the artist, the security guard said, what's up, blood? And they told Draco the Ruler they can't go through that entrance, even though Draco the Ruler was performing and he was an artist. And he's like, what? Wait, why can't I come through this entrance? Nah, blood, you gotta go to that other entrance. As they was driving to the other entrance, there was a van in front of them. They watched the van drive all the way through the security entrance and didn't get checked at all. But when Draco and his crew of people got there, their cars got checked. They got stripped. They got checked as if this was like the airport security, bro. They couldn't even bring a lighter in. But a van in front of them went right through. This is when Draco ignored a couple of signs that was supposed to trigger something within him. The van before you got right through without being checked. The security guard who was a blood told you can't go through the artist entrance. You had to go through this other entrance you had no idea of. Clearly something was up. After they was done getting checked, they got the green light to proceed further. And when they was driving up, they went past that van. And the van that didn't get checked, when they drove past it, they seen members from YG crew, 400 members. They were in that van. When they finally hopped out the vehicle, they began to walk past several members of 400 and YG crew with 400 shirts on. They also walked past several BPS members. One member right here you see have a Cardinals jacket on. When Draco finally walked in, it was a literal united Blood Nation front against Draco. A private investigator says when he reviewed the footage of Draco at the festival getting into the altercation that took his life, he counted 113 Blood members who swarmed Draco. It was perfectly clear this wasn't something that happened on the whim. This was something that was carefully and strategically planned out. This was a murder that was planned out days in advance. Because when Draco walked in, people had on ski masks. A rapper named K7 who was fighting next to Draco identified the man who was able to sneak in the knives to give to the assassins. His name is, he was YG's security guard for years, and he still is.
Cheers. I'm speaking facts, bro. YG in real life. And all the bro, I don't give a fuck, bro. I'm so mad, bro. On my mama, bro. YG did some hoe, bro. And if I see Cuz, I'ma slap the shit with that. On all this puff talking like they hard, bro, but they fighting big ass security. You got those security guards fighting. Come on, bro. That's cool, bro. On my mama, bro. The big ass bald security guard snuck in knives, all type of weird shit.
The person he's saying snuck the knives in that was used to kill Draco is a man by the name of you see right here. He's YG's security guard. Anywhere you see YG, you see him. This was strategically and methodically planned because as soon as Draco walked in at 8:30, and by 8:32, it already sparked off. They were already in place, already had their knives, waiting for Draco to walk in so they could murder Draco.
We got there at 8:30. It was cracking at 8:32, like type shit. Like,
wow.
Yeah, that's the type of shit. Yeah.
I think your mom said it was around 40 to 60 men in masks.
No, it was like 100 or something.
Really?
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying?
What do you say to people saying it was a setup? Because they were saying he shouldn't have been on the same bill as some of those other people at all.
I mean, shit. It's
now, okay, so of course I was not there, right? I don't have any inside information. I ain't even talked to nobody about none of this type of stuff. But one thing that does strike me a little bit odd, right? They say that the Damus, the Bloods, they had all these people in masks, right, with knives, but you only have one person getting stabbed, Draco. That's odd to me. I mean, because all these dudes couldn't have been targeting Draco, right? I mean, whoever, I'm assuming, right, in Draco's entourage would have still been good enough, right? But to my knowledge, unless I'm missing something or I miss some information relating this, only one person happened to get stabbed. So that sounds fishy. That doesn't sound like it's accurate. I don't see, let's just say that you have 5 people in there with knives, right? And if they are there with the intention to do harm to Draco, rest in peace to Draco, right? But if they are there to do harm to him and his crew, it seemed like Draco wouldn't have been the only one to suffer a knife injury. So to me, that's just fishy. But that's just me.
pretty self-explanatory. I mean, they're not. I wouldn't say, you know what I'm saying. That if you know, you know. Like, you know what I'm saying. We pulled up at 8:30, 8:32. It was cracking like this, shit like that.
So I'm guessing you saw it happen.
Yeah, I think everything happened in motion. Like, you know what I'm saying, right then and there. It wasn't no 70 people packing out Draco. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just happened right there.
Yeah.
I feel like it just happened like all in one motion. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody ever got to Draco, like, to just get Draco. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was all in one motion.
Yeah.
The footage of them getting swarmed from 100 Bloods, from Pyrus to Inglewood families to BPS, that's on YouTube. Now, if you look at the still shot from this video, you see Draco is behind his security. Draco is still swinging, but he's behind his security. Now, a lot of people mistakenly believe this is the footage of Draco getting stabbed. It's not. When they walked in, they walked past BPS members, Inglewood family members, a lot of Bloods, they weren't fazed. They began to walk, trying to get to their place, trying to get on stage, trying to perform. Draco homie, Chiefin' Heavily, who has a store in LA, he falls behind. And as he falls behind the group, they try to rob him for his chain. Some Blood members try to rob him for his chain. When they try to rob him, he was able to escape. And he runs over to Draco, Ralphie, and the crew and says, yo, they just try to rob me. Some Bloods try to rob me. Draco says, what? Draco's security, Coop, tells Draco, hey, yo, keep pushing. Keep going. Draco said, F that. Who did it? As Draco turned around to try to figure out who tried to rob his homies, they swarmed them. They absolutely swarmed them. Now, they was fighting for about a minute. Draco did not get stabbed in that video. Draco did not get stabbed in that video. They were fighting for about a minute. As they were fighting for about a minute, LAPD begins to walk down, so the crowd begins to disperse. However, there's people still there. Now, LAPD is shouting, the security guard is shouting at LAPD, yo, get them, get them. Multiple dudes then bum rushed Draco and his security guard, Coop. Coop then was able to get one dude, but then the other dude was able to go around Coop and stab Draco in his neck and stabbed him. Coop is yelling at LAPD, get him. LAPD then flashed the light, and before they could flash the light, the dude took off. But who was that dude that stabbed Draco in his neck? Who was it? He's a friend of Munchie B called. His legal name is. Now, this particular screenshot right here is footage from another murder Williams is involved in. We are not going to show the footage or identify the victim of the murder because we personally don't want to include the victim in anything out of respect for him and his family. Now,
let me just pause the video right there. Flakko just named who he said was responsible for the murder of Draco, right? Now, once again, right, I don't know. I may edit that out. I may not, want to get caught up in all that there, right? But I'm just saying this. I know from being in riots in prison, right, when things jump off, it's so much going on. And this is not trying to defend anybody. This is just talking from my experience of being in several, incidents where you have a lot of people, right? Unless you just right there, it's really hard to see who's doing what, right? And I'm assuming that when they walked in that building, maybe it was very well lit, right? But sometimes it's just hard to see what's going on, and so and then for like I said, once again, to only have one individual stabbed, if that is the case, when you had so many people with knives, to me, like I said, it's just hard to me to understand. Of course, obviously somebody stabbed him, somebody stabbed him because he passed away and all that, right? Rest in peace to Draco again. But it's crazy, right? How all this stuff has just suddenly, basically, the shit has hit the fan. And to me, obviously, Munchie B has upset Flakko, right? Flakko is angry, he's hurt, and this is the end result of it, at least some of it. Maybe he was already going to drop this video, right? And then when individuals told him don't drop it, and he felt that they was trying to deter him from dropping it, maybe it just, inspired him more. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's go.
Footage that I'm not going to show nor identify who the victim was. That footage is of stabbing another victim in the neck after an altercation at an after party spot. He murdered this victim the same way he murdered Draco. The victim held his hand out to shake his hand, refused to shake his hand, and then stalked him all across the building and then ultimately stabbed him. Now, the police believe that he did this to promote or he's currently out on bail as he's fighting this murder case. Now, when he found out that I was going to do this video about him, that I was going to identify him as the man who stabbed and killed Draco the Roller, He deleted his Instagram, his Facebook. He deleted all traces of himself from online. But it's too late for him to run and hide. The police have identified him because people who were present has identified him as the one who did it. Not only is the police identifying him as a suspect in this, but the streets, him and his homies, have told people that he was the one who stabbed and killed Draco. The streets credit him as the one who stabbed and killed Draco the ruler. People who were present behind the scenes have told anyone willing to listen that is who stabbed and killed Draco the ruler. It's just a fact. Now, the question here is, why would he stab and kill Draco the ruler? What did he have to gain from it? Well, and he's really close friends with Munchie B. And as Munchie B stated, Draco the ruler died because he got out of jail and began to diss Red Bull.
So me personally, after watching a large portion of this video, I think my final decision, I'm not going to include the name that he said or the face. I'm going to edit all that stuff out because, you know, at the end of the day, right, what if Flakko is wrong, right? What if he's identifying somebody that had nothing to do with this, and, you know, it just is adding more fuel to the fire? You know, just because somebody says something on the internet does not necessarily make it true. Keep in mind, I'm not picking one side or another, right? Man, you know, when I got out 2018, one of my partners turned me on to Draco, right? And I liked his music. The dude used to gas that mic. He had an original style. He didn't sound like everybody else. And so, you know, it's definitely an unfortunate situation, man. At the end of the day, though, I want you guys to remember one important thing, right? Don't shoot the messenger.